Hi everybody, guess what? I've got some new stock. I'm going to show you guys what I've picked up. My name's Dave, if you're new to the channel. I sell vintage toys, collectibles, annuals, comics online, on eBay, on Vinted, on Facebook Marketplace, and anywhere I can get a profit. So I saw some comics on Facebook Marketplace. They were £100, loads of Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, that sort of thing. Now they're not your normal comics, they're sort of like the magazine type comics. Now I've picked some of these up before, made some really good money off individual issues and bundled some up and made some good money. I've seen them on there last week for £100, like I say, and the photos didn't really show you what was completely in there. There were sort of two big boxes full, and he showed you a few, like. So I left it. I thought, I'm not going to risk, picking those up without knowing fully what's in there. Anyway, I noticed yesterday he dropped it to 70 quid. And I thought, that's okay, £30 if I could knock him lower. So I messaged the guy as he was only 40 minutes down the road. And I said, I went in a bit cheeky. I said, will you take 40 quid? Knowing full well he's not going to do that. If it was 100 down to 70, he's not going to drop another sort of 30 quid. But anyway, he went, no, sorry. I went 50. So I thought, I'll see, I'll test the waters. And then he was like, tell you what, I've already dropped it, but I'll do 60 quid. And I thought, you know what, two big boxes full. There's going to be some profit in there. I'll go and do it. So I went, yeah, no problem. I'll come and pick them up tonight. So I went and picked them up last night, got them back, had a quick sort of sift through last night. Didn't really look too much in detail. Pulled a few out of choice ones that I've sort of researched up. I've got loads to research up. But I'll show you guys what I picked up and you can have a look. See if you think I've done right by paying 60 quid for all this. All right, so here we've got the first box, and as you can see, it's quite a deep box. There you go, and it is full to the brim. You've got these Marvel, Incredible Hulk, Planet of the Apes, Incredible Hulk and Dracula. There's loads of different Hulk magazines and comics, and then obviously there's ones mixed with Spider-Man. So what I will do, I will go through them. Obviously, I'll have a look if there's any individual ones that are worth quite a bit of money, because I picked up one similar to this before and sold it for like 70 quid. Went to America. It was the first issue, so obviously I'll look for any first issues. And even, to be fair, like for example, that's number 4. Sometimes they go for decent money. But yeah, as you can see, there's loads. I mean, there you go, second issue of the Hulk there. Oh, there you go. I think that's the first issue of that one. Happy days. Another second issue. So yeah, they'll go for decent money. Looking roughly last night, these ones, like this sort of thing, will probably go for a tenner. Some go for 15 quid. And as I say, what I shall do, I'll go through, and if there's any runs, so like, a consecutive run of numbers. So say for example, like as you can see there, look, 134, 135. Obviously 137, that's skipped 137 again, but they're all out of order, so I'll just go through all of them. If there's any runs, I'll do like a bundle of 10 or something. So I do think paying 60 quid out for this, obviously I'm easily going to get my 60 quid back. Just don't know what sort of profit I'm going to get on top, like how much it's going to be. If it's going to be like an extra 100 quid, 200, 300, I don't know. I'm not going to know till I've completely gone through it. Put them all in sort of bundles or sort of sift out the individual ones. Now, I quickly looked through them last night. Like I say, I didn't go through the whole lot, but I pulled out these ones. There is a few of these that go for 40, 50 quid each. Unfortunately, one of those ones isn't in here, but this one goes for 15 quid. This one here has been selling for sort of between 25 and 40, so that's good, because that's number 2, I think. Is it number 2? No, it's number 6. I'm lying to you. So it's not that one, sorry. I think that one goes for 10, 15 quid. It's this one here. That goes for between sort of 25, 40 quid. Now, obviously, everything when it comes to comics is down to condition. Now, that's got a lot of foxing on the bottom. It's got some little rips at the top. It's got a piece missing at the back, if you can see that. Just a small piece. So might not be the top end of 40 quid then for that. You might just get 20, 25, I don't know. But at the end of the day, if I paid 60 quid, I'm obviously going to get my money back pretty much with some of these individual ones. first, and then obviously we can start bundling the others up or have a look at individual. But look, absolutely tons. Like, it just keeps going. I mean, these, I've sold these before, Battle Action, they go really well. I was selling them in bundles of 10, I think for 15 quid before. So, and there seems to be quite a lot in there. Look, that goes all the way down to the bottom. Then there's some of the later ones, and it's back to the earlier ones again. So that's those. So you've kind of got a stack like that. Obviously that stack is ridiculous. Captain America, again, there's loads of these in there. Different ones, paper ones, they all go sort of down to the bottom. Forces in Combat, I've never heard of that personally. That's one I've not come across before, so I do need to search that up. If there's any individual issues that are worth decent money. If not, they'll be getting bundled. As I say, you know, if you look at this, there's just hundreds, you know. Look at those, just literally look at them. There's piles and piles and piles and piles. So I think good investment for 60 quid. That's the first box. Then we go over to this box, one of these banana boxes full. And again, you can see it's quite deep. This little thing was in here. It's interesting. Comic book artist portfolio, Spider-Man 2. And it's some sort of like artwork in there. It's quite nice. Some good drawings, good illustrations. I was looking on completed and sold to these, and this does tend to sell for about a tenner to 12 quid. So again, you know, happy days. Whether I'd put any of this on Vinted yet, I'm not so sure, because I don't know if there's a market for these on Vinted, because I sell Beano comics on there, but and I've actually sold some like normal comics on there, but magazine comics, not so sure. I'll have a look. I've got nothing to lose. I may as well, like I said in the video, just cross this everything over there. It's on another marketplace then, and you know, you've got double your chances then of getting some sales. But yeah, in this box is predominantly Spider-Man. And again, if you look, 293, 292, 291, 290. So 298, 297, 296, 299, 300. If I look through all these, get them all out, group them all up, if there's some good runs do really well. Sometimes if that individual comic, for example, was worth about 3 to 5 quid or something, even sometimes might even be worth 2 quid, you never know. It's a waste of time listing individually. Like, I mean, look how many there is. There's a whole box there, whole box there. It will take me absolutely forever to get these listed, doing that individually with all of them. And then it could be really slow money and crap money by the time it comes in. What's the point listing about, I don't know, I don't even know how much is here. There's probably, what, 400 comics here? Could be 500, I don't know, could be more. However long that would take me. If you're putting some on individually for a fiver, by the time the fees come off, what the hell's the point in that, especially if it was slow? So it's easy for me to have a look at these runs, bundle them up, and get for 60 quid that I've paid out, just get the money coming in and get them gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, just, I'm trying my best now when I'm picking things up to go through it and get that stuff on, rather than getting distracted and getting another pick up and listing that, because that's what I've been doing for years, and I'm really bad at it. I'll pick things up. Instead of concentrating on what I've just picked up, I sell some of it, list some of it, then leave some of it. And you start getting this stuff piling up, and then you pick up something else and you're going for that. You should pick something up like this today. I've got this now. I'm going to go through all this morning. I'm going to see what's worth individually good money, see what's not, bundle up the others. So it's all processed, and then just start listing it till it's all on, yeah? Before I pick anything else up. That worked with the audio books. I did that, got all of them on. They started selling really well, and they're on there now, done. Do you know what I mean? So I haven't got a mess, but yeah, like I say, Spider-Man Fest, I don't know what that is. Action Force. Sometimes these can go for a tenner, you know, on their own. I've sold some of these before. Like the Transformer comics are worth good money. Not come across Mad before, but I have heard of it. Don't think when I looked before in the past it's worth a lot of money. It depends if there's some of them. Martial Law, No idea what that is. So there is some like individual stray ones in here. I mean, that's just random, isn't it? You've got a whole box, 2 boxes full of Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, and then Asterix is in there. But again, I've sold Asterix books before, not of this size, I must admit, normally a little bit smaller. But these bigger ones, they might go for a bit more, who knows? Now, I've sold Eagle comics before, the older ones, they're worth quite a bit of money, but these ones, from 1982, I would not bother individually selling those. I mean, obviously that's the first issue of that type of one, but that's not going to be with it, is it? So that's not going to command a lot of money. Don't know what that is. That's a weird, interesting thing, isn't it? So when you pick things up like this, you've got a lot of research, so that's going to take a lot of time. Planet of the Apes, I've seen these go for decent money, especially if you've got like a run. So we'll have to hope that we've got some more. Oh, there we go, Planet of the Apes again. Another mad eagle. There's a lot of eagle there, so I could just do a big bundle of eagle. That's weird, interesting. Wrestling magazine, unopened, completely sealed with a DVD. Never know, could be a tenner there. Some more Spider-Man. So there's all different types of Spider-Man. So again, I've got to basically get all this out, group it all up into the actual, you know, full runs of comics that are like, you know, Spider-Man TV comic, for example. If there's 6 of them, put them together because there'll be different ones. That's a completely different Spider-Man one. So that many different Spider-Man ones. That's another random, some sort of colouring and activity book. But again, you know, that could be a vintage, £5. Do you know what I mean? Put it on for 10, take off and see what happens. Punisher, Doctor Who. Bloody hell. Imagine that having happened to you. Turns into a bloody cactus, isn't it? What the? Interesting. Ah, then we go to X-Men. X-Men, loads more X-Men. Avengers, X-Men, more Spider-Man, more X-Men. Random comic. Terrific. Never heard of that. That's the first issue though. Let's see. 3. Oh, this is in a run. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, brilliant. So I've got a run of 1 to 12 there. That's an absolute perfect listing. Looking absolutely fantastic condition. So that'll just be straight on. I should obviously have a good search up, see what these are going for individually. If there's any, like that one, that issue one's worth loads of money, probably not. I doubt. I've never heard of that comic before, but it's 1992. But you never know. But if it's the run there, 1 to 12 of them, easy to do in a bundle. So that's those. And obviously on the other side, you've got pretty much the same kind of thing going on. You've got more Spider-Man, more of these type ones, more X-Men. Then you go to Spider-Man and Hulk team up. Now again, I've got to look at the numbers on these and get all these out, see if there's a run on them. Because there's just so many different Spider-Man comics. It's amazing how many that they did. I mean, someone had to do all this all this artwork. The thing is, you just don't get comics like this anymore. The comics these days, if you've seen them, you've got kids yourself, are absolutely rubbish. They're so babyish, all of them. They're drawn so basic. There's just no character. There's just no detail, no effort really got into them. Like anyone could draw it. It's just shit. But they just, look at them. The attention to detail on some of these are just fantastic. And that's the thing, that people, you know, obviously collect these. People just like the artwork, obviously. But yeah, as you can see, the other side is absolutely full. Again, you've got all these looking here. There's always the bottom. It's just never ending. So one thing I can say is, I think it's safe that my 60 quid was a good investment. Very good investment. Absolutely fantastic. Really happy with that. Really pleased. So everyone, you've seen what I picked up. Told you I paid 60 quid, and you can see the work that I've got today. I'm going to be busy, that's for sure. I've got some posts to do this afternoon. I'm off out tonight with my son to play some pool. That'll be fun. You know, you've got to make sure, guys, you know, it's not all work, work, work. You've got to make sure you find some time for yourself to relax and enjoy yourselves, because this reselling business is hard work and it does take over your life. Because let's be honest, we can be sat relaxing, we can be out doing something fun, an offer comes in, I can't help but respond to it. Do you know what I mean? My missus is normally like, look, just leave it. Like, you know, you can't be constantly 24/7, but in your head, you're like, well, that could be a sale. Do you know what I mean? If I don't look at that now and they go away, that could be like 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 feet. Who knows how much, you know, you could be going in. So, you know, obviously when you're working for someone, you don't think like that, because you do your hours, you're glad to bloody finish for the week, you know, put your feet up. You don't want to think about work till the Monday, but when you're doing this, it is kind of 7 days a week, isn't it, really? And it does take over your life. So yeah, important, guys, make sure you find some time for yourself. Anyway, I'll sign off from now, and I've got to get cracking researching these and getting them all bloody listed to get some money in. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like this content, please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy them, and I'll see you on the next video. Appreciate you watching. Take it easy. See you later.